We all grow up thinking, I know my mom. But what if there are things she kept hidden from you? Not because she didn't want to tell you, but because she loved you too much to say them out loud. In this video, we're going to uncover 10 things your mom never told you. But if you knew them, they might completely change the way you see her. Ready? This isn't just about her. This is about you too. Tears you never saw. You've made her cry, way more than you realize. The first time, when you were born, she held you close and cried, because somehow all her pain disappeared the moment she saw your face. But it didn't stop there. She cried when you got sick. She cried when you were disappointed, when you failed, when you blamed yourself for things you couldn't control. And she cried again when you started growing up, when you stopped sharing stories, when you began walking your own path. Not because she wasn't proud of you, but because part of her felt like she was slowly losing a little piece of you. The little things she always gave up. She wanted that last bite too, you know. Your favorite food? That last snack on the table? She was hungry. She wanted it too. But she gave it to you. And it was never just about food. She gave up her time, her rest, sometimes even the things she loved, just to make sure you were happy. Because for her, your smile was more than enough to make her day feel complete. Words that left a scar. Her heart breaks every time you speak harshly to her. Maybe you snapped. Maybe you raised your voice because you were stressed. And in that moment, she stayed silent. But trust me, she never forgot how it felt. Because one sharp word from you hurts more than 1,000 from anyone else. She didn't get angry. She just went quiet. Not to guilt you, but because she didn't want to add to your burden. Still, a little piece of her heart cracked every time you did that. Endless worry. She's always worried about you, from the moment you were a baby to now, when you're fully grown and living your own life. Her mind never really rests. You come home a little late? She checks the clock, again and again. You go half a day without texting back? Her mind runs through 1,000 what-ifs. She might not say anything when you walk through the door, but before that, she checked her phone 10 times. Wondering, where is my child? Are they okay? Because for a mother, peace only exists when she knows her child is safe. And still, there are things she's never told you. In the next part, we'll talk about the fear she carries of not being a good enough mom, the quiet moments she spent just watching you sleep, and why she still carries you, even after you've grown up and moved on. Don't go anywhere. This story's far from over. After learning how deeply your words can break her and how she's never truly at peace when you're out in the world, now we're stepping into the most human part of it all. The imperfection she's afraid of. She knows. She's not perfect. She knows she's made mistakes. She's yelled when she shouldn't have. Misunderstood you. Been too hard when she thought she was helping. But you know what she's never stopped doing? Trying. In her quiet moments, she asks herself, am I a good enough mom? She wants to be perfect, but she's scared. Scared that everything she's done still might not be enough. And that fear, she keeps it to herself. The quiet moments while you slept. She used to watch you sleep, a lot more than you think. When you were just a baby, she'd wake up in the middle of the night, not because she had to, but just to make sure you were still breathing calmly. And even after you grew up, when you'd fall asleep after school, after work, or after a heartbreak, she'd still glance into your room. Sometimes she'd just stand at the doorway, smiling quietly to herself, thinking, you used to be so small, and now look at you. And in those silent moments, she'd feel like time was moving too fast, but her love for you never moved an inch. But wait, What's coming next reveals the deepest side of a mother's love. Why she still carries you, even after you've grown up. What she feels every time your heart breaks, and the biggest sacrifice she's ever made without you even noticing. This isn't just a story about your mom. This is a story about you and everything you've ever taken from a love that asked for nothing in return. Longer than 9 months. After all the sacrifice, the silent worries, and the mistakes she carried quietly, there's still one kind of love that can't be measured by time. A love that keeps carrying you, even long after you were born. She's carried you for far more than just 9 months. Biologically, yes, you lived inside her for 9 months, but emotionally, you've lived in her heart for a lifetime. She carries you in her thoughts, in her prayers. While she's shopping, she wonders, would my child like this? While she's working, she pushes through thinking, this is for my child's future. And when she's alone, she whispers your name in her prayers, even when you have no idea she's doing it. When you cry, she breaks, but stays strong. Her heart breaks every single time you cry. Whether it's from falling down, feeling lost, or a broken heart, she feels it with you. But look at what she does. She doesn't cry in front of you. She stands tall. She smiles. She says, it's okay. You'll be all right. Even if her own heart is falling apart inside, she holds it together because when you need strength, she wants to be the very first one to give it to you. In the final part, we'll step into the kind of sacrifice you can't see, but that stays with you for a lifetime. The things she gave up for you without ever asking for anything in return. And one answer, that might just break you when you find out what she would choose if she had the chance to do it all over again. After hearing all of this, you might start to realize a mother's love isn't always visible, but its impact, it stays with you for life. And these last two truths might just be the deepest of all. Self-sacrifice without a sound. She always put you first, even when it cost her everything. There were nights she slept only 2 hours and still woke up before you did. There were dreams she once had, but she quietly set them aside because your dreams became more important. There were days she wasn't okay, but you never noticed, because her smile was always ready the moment you walked into the room. All of that simply because you were, and always will be, her number one priority. She would do it all over again, without hesitation. She would do it all again, without a second thought. If someone asked her, if you could start over, would you go through it all again? Without even blinking, she'd say, yes, I would. The pain of childbirth, the years filled with worry, the sacrifices she never kept score of. She'd go through it all, as long as it meant you'd still be her child. Because in her life, you are the best thing that ever happened to her. You might never be able to repay it all. You might never be able to repay everything she's given. But today you can start with something small. Send a message. Hug her. Call her if it's been a while. Because unconditional love doesn't stay around forever. And right now, you still have someone who's loved you without asking for anything, even before you could say, I love you, Mom. If this video touched something in you, share it with someone who might need a reminder of just how precious a mother's love really is. And in the comments, write one small thing about your mom that you're most grateful for. Because sometimes one simple sentence can become the thank you they've been waiting to hear for years. And if you made it to the end of this video, maybe it means you have someone too. Someone who once fought just as hard for you. On this channel, I don't just make content to watch, I make content to feel. So if this connected with you, check out the other videos here. Who knows? Maybe there's a story waiting there that you didn't know you needed today. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next piece of something simple but meaningful. See you in the next video.